Tony, you got to be in the middle as well.
Okay, guys. We are.
There we go. We have some control.
We
have control.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Absolutely fantastic.
Right, come on, Ed.
Well, guys. Hello, welcome along. Hello, Danny. How are you doing, pal? Great for your support.
Right, ready?
Wow, we've made it. Look at this. Right? The Maria's March. Maria's March. There's Downing Street gates. So we're all here. Look, there's members of independent journalists doing their bit. You can see the women are in the front.
There we go.
All brazen with the Maria's badge. I've got one on. Let me just show you. Oh, I've got a wire getting in the way here. Can you see my badge there, guys? Look. It's all to do with the suffragettes movement. Okay, right, let me get this bloody wire out of the way. Right. Hold on, guys. Let me get myself in order. Right, here we go. Hopefully the audio is there. Hello, guys. How you doing? Good to see you. It's a beautiful Monday. Beautiful. But look at this. Tony was actually saying before on there, she was a bit worried and apprehensive as to the numbers. You can see Baroness Cox there talking with Tony Bugle. So because of the nature of the march, in order to move to where the speeches are going to happen, we've not been able to do it along the street. So we've had to basically walk like commuters. Now that's the only way we could get round the legality of it all. Very strange, very sinister, but that is the way it is. But look, guys, we've got Raheel Raza there, Baroness Cox. Absolutely fantastic. The diverse crowd here and the strength of support is overwhelming. How are we doing, Tony?
We are doing really well, but it'd be really good to hear the ladies sing. Come on, my darling.
On what?
I think.
Yep.
Oh, when the saints
go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. I want to be in that number. Oh, when the saints go marching in.
Come on, ladies. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go
Oh, Teddy's in tow. Look at this.
I want to be in that number. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Hip, hip.
Hooray! Hooray!
What do we want?
We don't know what.
Protection for children. Protection for children. Protection for children.
Indeed.
What do we want? Protection for children.
Now!
Children. Protection for children. Now. What do we want? Protection for children. When now. No more rapes on any street.
Yep.
Rape the silence. Silence creates victims.
Indeed. Wise words. Look at this. This is diversity. True diversity. Yeah. We're all coming together to fight the same cause. Thank you, Leslie. It's actually a really good atmosphere. There's a good buzz on here. Hey up. Hey up. Is he waiting? No, he's not waiting. Oh no, he's not happy. Number 87's not waiting. That's an infiltrator driving that bus, isn't it? Here's Simon. Hello, Simon. How you doing, pal?
Loving it. Yeah.
What are you thinking of the atmosphere, mate?
That's very good.
Yeah.
Saints go marching in, all the girls together.
Yeah.
Blokes at the back. It's always a better optic anyway.
I think so, mate. Yeah, keep them out of the way.
A lot of people. I've just been chatting to a lady of the cloth.
Yeah.
And I've just been chatting to a Muslim guy who's going to have an interview later on, and he's saying how they have to deal with this and how he wants to go about doing it. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So you might want to get in on that one at the same time.
We're all fighting the same cause, Simon.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's what today's all about, isn't it?
It is indeed. So yeah, fair play to them. They're very happy.
Yeah.
So I hope people notice.
Well,
And we've got to say, we're not got the real media. When I say the real media, fake media.
I know, yeah. People who are just prepared to tell it as it is. That's all it is, you know.
But have you seen the mainstream menaces here?
No, I heard someone was shouting Sky News. Was there a member of Sky
He
here?
got booed out of it. didn't he? Anyway, I think we're going to get a video of them lot. But yeah, impressive.
This is brilliant.
Oh yeah, I'm going to stand out here because
Well, we've got Muslims that are prepared to talk out about the radicalisation. We've
That's
got
the guy who's going to do the interview, and he seems pretty scolding on them.
right.
So I was like, whew, okay,
Yeah.
sounds interesting. Yeah, I'll walk into the box.
I know.
I'll do it, mate.
Yeah. I'll end up in there. That'll be my room for the night, mate. I've got a feeling.
Sweet, sign it up.
When the saints go
Absolutely fantastic. Loving it.
When the saints go marching in. When the saints go marching in. I'm gonna be in that number. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. When the saints go marching in.
Even the sun's come out for a sign.
Oh yeah, I'm loving it.
With the washboard, you've got straps round your belly.
I've just been losing weight, you know. Get all off me gob.
Oh, fantastic. Look at this.
It's great. But you've got a spare hand, chuck that in your gob, mate.
Okay, one sec. Let me just film that.
So Phil,
Yes.
you were saying that she's really been mucked about the insurance, where we're allowed to walk, we're not allowed on the road, we're not allowed this, we're not allowed that. And the theory was that had it been the opposition, we reckon they'd have had a brass band out playing for them, didn't we?
Without a doubt, mate, you know, they use these legalese ways to kind of curtail certain people, and yet they'll use that certain legalese as a slingshot to enable other people, and it's become so apparent. You can see it, and you know, people can mention the name George Soros every time we talk about that, but he's not the only person. We're talking the media, we're talking YouTube, we're talking all of them kind of coming together to stifle people, you know, and the councils do it in a sense to make life harder for people to have marches.
Now, aren't we supposed to be congregating here somewhere?
I think this is it, yeah. There's the man himself, Mr. Churchill. So this is Palace Square, is it?
I believe so.
Right, okay. Are we going over here? Right, okay, guys. We're heading over this way. Brilliant. So we've kind of just amalgamated into a load of tourists now. I don't think anyone can actually make out what's going on, but
Never have so many.
good quote. I love it. I love it.
The right weather for it. That's definitely.
The weather, it's absolutely roasting, mate. I don't know how you're getting on with what's going on at the moment.
What's happening, by the way?
We'll have to replenish later, mate. How about that? That's a good idea, isn't it? You've got to hydrate.
Looks like I'm not staying right now. I'm forced into it. It's a sad tale, right? That
Yeah.
we're at that time now where people like you and me, right, all we want to do is tell the truth, end up having to take precautions because
Yes.
we just.
Further down. Okay. Okay, we're keeping moving, guys.
The lady must be a babe. I said the lady must be a babe.
Oh, Baroness Cox.
Ingo.
Are we on? We're on. Okay. Right, so I've now got Simon's microphone. I don't know whether this is on. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. It's a radio mic, so I'm sure the audio is still on. And I'm chatting away into your microphone here,
it's
mate.
great because you're doing my job for it. Do you know, I used to do people that did live streams, they get everybody talking, because they were actually stupid, they bugger off and play a game and
Yeah.
everybody has to do the video for them. Oh, there's some lovely people.
Oh, really? You know, try to fight for the values of this country, and he wants to.
Lefty.
Oh, he must be.
Yeah.
Antifa scooter rider.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those people look like they want freedom.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Tony!
Nothing worse than being premature.
That brings a whole new subject into line there.
You have to engage to do that.
Oh, Jesus. So we're waiting now because we've had to do the transition on the walkway, as in down the street. We've now got the transport system to navigate through. So we've got scooter riders, we've got bus drivers that are...
Honestly, it's dangerous.
Yeah, they just want us out the way, don't they, you know?
Yeah.
They just want to get somewhere and quick. They're not bothered about saving the world, they just want to get to work.
Well, that's the problem. Me, and only me. None of this stuff affects me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what happened one day, all this time you've been ignoring, right, all this going on because it's not you, then it happens to you. It'll be like, you know smokers and non-smokers. The non-smoker doesn't really mind the smoker, right, but the bloke who's given up smoking is the most worst person towards a smoker nowadays. They'll be like that. It'll be like the kind of thing that, oh my God, how many people are there?
Are they just tourists waiting for something?
Well, I would just say it with us.
Yeah. We've just pulled in another 300 people. We don't even know whether they believe in what we believe in, but they're coming with us. Hey up. Oh, it's an ambulance. We got lefties triggering that need the assistance of an ambulance somewhere.
Somebody broke a fingernail, I think. Blatant culture.
Oh, so we're a bit split up here, guys. We're all trying to get together.
Took somebody from the Netherlands to do it.
Yeah. I know, yeah.
Hey, what's going on? Oh, so you're in the middle of you?
No, I'm just streaming at the moment.
Oh,
pal,
shit.
yeah.
Oh, that's right. Shh, don't swear. Oh, sorry.
It's alright. I've got a swear jar in my back pocket. Don't worry.
I owe it about 50 quid.
I just thought you had a nice ass.
Oh, right, yeah. No, that's the jar that makes it look rounded there, you know. I've got them on one each cheek as well, just to evenly distribute it. So we're outside the Houses of Parliament here now. This is where most of the problems start, isn't it, Shara?
What's really nice is we've actually been meeting women along the way who have asked us
Yep.
and have said great and have joined in with us.
Yep.
And even asked where they can get the big, what are those called?
The rosette, yeah.
Rosettes.
Yep.
It's been great.
That is excellent. It shows that people, you know, because this is going back to the suffragette movement. It means so much more,
But
you
it
know.
also proves that being outside and actually doing actions creates a community.
Yep.
And every time you do this, the community grows.
Sure. That's what we need more than ever. We need unity. Shara, how do we get unity, Shara? With what's going on at the
Respect.
moment?
We need to respect each other.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of lack of respect, and people need to leave their egos at the door of
Yeah.
their house when they leave.
Sure.
I think that those are the two things. Really.
It's a shame, isn't it, that it's so divisive that it's actually counterproductive at this point. I'm sorry, Pop. Here we go.
Please bring yourself around there.
Here we go.
That's all right.
Right.
No matter which way we're speaking, you're speaking facing that way.
So they stand there, face the cloud that
So you want to face them that way. Well, then you want to bring them around that way. Can you get all of the ladies round here?
Round here. Right, ladies, can we all gather around onto the grass?
It's ladies' night and the feeling's right.
Oh, it was a bit of a party mood here. What a great atmosphere.
It's on its way.
Look at this, we've got a bit of X Factor as well. Getting a bit of everything here, haven't
That
we?
was where that barrier, where that bloke hit the other day. That's what we were looking at.
was
So
it?
we're talking about that. You're talking about your hemorrhoids.
Wow, of course it is.
Just there.
Hello there. How you doing?
Can I have a picture with you?
Yeah, but you're
Oh, thank you very much. Pleasure. You're welcome. You're welcome. Wow. So, right, Simon has just pointed out. So that's the actual checkpoint there?
Policeman is. He's
Yeah.
actually got his arm on it. It's not even paintwork taken off it.
Wow.
It's a solid bit,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Right, okay. Very poignant.
you know, there's terrorists and terrorists. Now, the terrorists of the past, when they planned to do something, God forbid, they were very, very good at what they did, very effective, right? But the brand of moron that's coming out now, luckily, aren't effective. But it will only be a matter of time before they do become effective.
And it's not going to stop them trying.
Oh no, they'll keep going. Because here's the thought. If you get a skin full of alcohol on board, then you go out and commit something. If you don't succeed, you can be put down as a drunk driver. Worst case scenario, go to prison for a few years, that's it, come back out. And that's what they said was. A drink driving related accident, look, he was over the limit. If he's successful and does a great job, then they might claim it.
That's true. So it's like you're saying, they're pulling narratives away from...
Yeah, I think we
So
need
it's disingenuous, mate. Okay. Hello.
Right, darling.
Okay, right. See where I can best position myself for this now. Okay, we've got a... Oh, we lose? Oh, there we are. Rahil, Tony would like you to make your way to the front. Oh, bloody hell.
Can we please have those who are the speakers to come up and stand up here beside me? That's including you, Dr. Roma Tahir.
I know, but it's understandable.
We have a doctor in the house, just in case. Can we also have, obviously, the amazing Baroness Cox here, who is a hero of mine. A huge hero of mine, actually, if I'm honest. And somewhere in this crowd, there's a lady called Rahil Raza, who, anybody who hasn't seen the video, by the numbers, please go and find it on YouTube, watch it.
Yeah.
It's probably the most educational video you will ever watch in your lifetime.
Yep.
So please take that moment. Now, I also had somewhere around here is a lady called Torren, but I think she might be hiding around the back at the moment. Torren is I'll explain a little bit about Torren in a minute. And we also have a young girl called Samantha. Samantha is a survivor of gang rape and trafficking. She's a quiet lady, but she's an inspirational girl. And she drives me. People like Samantha, people like Torren, people like Kelly, who was sadly also killed. These are the girls that drive me. These are the girls that matter. These are the girls that we will always use them to stop it happening to another girl. We cannot keep ignoring what is going on. Dr. Roma Tahir here, she was a victim of Sharia law in this country, where there was abuse and marriage fraud, and the only way she could get a divorce was he served her with a piece of paper that said, "I divorced you 3 times, went back to Pakistan, leaving her very battered, very abused, and £20,000 in less for money," because he stole her money too. But he didn't just steal her money, he stole her future. Because she's not divorced in the eyes of English law, therefore unable to then meet somebody, marry and have a family. She has been robbed of more things than we can ever imagine, and it has to stop. This is why I backed Caroline with a parliamentary bill to address the issue of Sharia law. It's really important that we understand that it's a very powerful weapon being used not just against Muslim women, but against non-Muslim girls. I believe there is a link there, and we have to stand up and say it has to stop. Enough is enough right now.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask Caroline to be the first speaker, because I will tell you all now, Caroline has literally just flown back from Australia, stepped off of a plane and come down here to be here with you people. I think that in itself, please give her the biggest round of applause.
Hey, well done.
I love the bones of her. She is very much a hero of mine. So I'm going to hand this to Caroline first.
Well, I just want to say a huge thank you to every one of you who's here today for this very, very important situation that we're confronting. And huge congratulations to formidable Tony.
Yes.
He's a real boss.
Excellent. The Bugalizer.
And we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Tony.
Yes.
Tone,
Yeah.
Tone. She is a star. But there are so many of you here whom I have enormous respect and admiration. So I want to say thank you to Tony, to everyone who's really to organise the special event, and also the opportunity to speak for women who suffer far too much in our country today. I also want to congratulate all the women with courage to speak about your suffering. It's my privilege to know some who have endured such horrendous suffering, and I just got profound admiration for you, including, for example, one who can't be here today, but the very courageous Caitlin, who wrote that tragic account of her story. It's a Sunday Times bestseller. If you haven't got it already, please get it and make sure other people read it. It's called Please Let Me Go. And it'll give you a very heartbreaking, horrendous description of what so many people are going through in this country, which would never, ever be allowed. So please let me go. And she wrote it to try to help other girls to avoid becoming entrapped in the horrors of victimization.
You're welcome, guys.
Psychological as well as social and physical. Others are here today, and I wish to put on record my profound admiration and appreciation. You are all heroines. You really are.
Well done.
And many of us are deeply concerned that too often those who have suffered, as so many of you have, haven't received the help and support from the professionals such as the social workers and the police. Time and again, public authorities have been inhibited by political correctness and refused to identify the ideological basis of some of the suffering inflicted on the victims represented here today. Now, I've raised this issue in the House of Lords. I've asked the government to make sure that they don't allow political correctness to inhibit police and others from protecting the law of the land and vulnerable people. And it's
Well
still
done.
going on.
Well done.
These are sensitive and complex issues. There aren't simple answers, but surely our politicians and our public authorities mustn't downplay the ideological dimensions of abuse if it means that they can better support the victims who are suffering that abuse. We've got to stop being mealy-mouthed, and we have to tell the truth. Of course, I'm aware that there are many other heartbreaking and profoundly disturbing cases of gang rape and paedophiliac, excuse me, my page is about to blow away, take that one if you will. I'm on hand. Activities. But the nature of those activities which bring us here today is their scale and the ideological underpinning, as well as the impunity which has too often prevailed. I've had the privilege of sitting and weeping with those who are oppressed, abused, treated as second-class citizens. One Muslim lady told me, I feel betrayed by Britain. I came here to get away from this. The situation is worse here than in the country I came from. It's our country. And it's worse here than where some of these people have come from. It's outrageous. Another victim has repeatedly told me that the perpetrators, I haven't quite finished yet, sweetheart.
Now she says I'm the boss.
She is.
That's because Tony's always on the ball.
I know she's fantastic. Another victim has repeatedly told me that the perpetrators who inflicted such suffering on her are still driving taxis around the town where she lives. That impunity is something, again, which we must challenge.
Muslim privilege.
My lovely friends who are here today, women and girls are suffering in this country, but to make the suffragettes, who wear the suffragettes' colours with pride, they'd be turning in their graves if they knew what was happening to women and girls in our country today. We must do all we can to speak truth for justice to prevail and appropriate responses to the very disturbing situations which bring us here today.
Indeed.
So I will continue to urge our government to take immediate action, including systematic investigation into problems of all women in similar circumstances, as well as the implementation of legal provisions and policies to afford them the protection and the genuine access to the rights which they and you are entitled. The women who have told their stories have risked much. There are many who are suffering, but at the moment cannot tell their stories. But I hope that those who have had the courage to tell their stories and have taken that risk will not have done so in vain, and we're here to make sure they will not. And it's a wonderful joy that a very, very intellectually renowned, internationally renowned lady, who's going to be introduced by Tony in a minute, has come all the way from Canada to be with us today. So I just want to say at this moment, thank you to everyone for being here, and very especially thank you to those who have suffered so much and have the courage to tell how you suffered, so that we may speak on your behalf to try and stop this suffering in our country today. Thank you all. I love you.
Well done. Well done.
Well said. Well said.
Now you can all see why I hold this lady in the highest of esteem. And she's a lot more than a heroine. She's my friend, and I'm very fortunate she's your friend too. And that, I think, is no money can buy that. There is no money can buy that kind of passion and that kind of heart. Now the next lady that I'm going to ask, if it's all right with you, Ron Hill, can I ask my daughter first? This is my daughter. I'm very proud of my daughter because my daughter has the ability to see past the multicultural, let's say mollycoddling, for polite words, that we see in our country today. And she's got a poem that was written that somebody has asked her to speak out. Now I believe this is a family member who has got a poem written by a daughter who was groomed and trafficked. She also has a few words written by a lady called Fodia Rashid, another hero of mine, who has challenged Sharia law in this country and continues to challenge it every single day. That's what true feminism is. These ladies standing here today, this is real feminism, not femi-fascism. We leave that to those who do not understand the importance of standing up. So I'm going to give him over to my daughter. Thank you.
Hello there. Baby Bugle.
So I just want to read out the beginning of this before I read the poem. This was given to somebody to read out. So this poem was written on behalf of a good friend from a genuine account of what happened to her. I felt her story needed to be told and she loved it. So much so she's given me permission to share it. I've made a point of not mentioning specific details she's told me so she cannot be identified, as she still fears being found. Thank you so much. It means so much to me, as she's like a sister to me, and I hate to think how many more girls and women still suffer in silence. This poem's called English Rose. Just another forgotten English rose. Our numbers too numerous to be divulged. Shut up for the sake of diversity, we're told. Our childhood stolen, abused, battered and sold. When it all began, I was only 11 years old. Ignored by the police, social services, MPs and councillors too, I ask you, what's a poor working class girl supposed to do? Just another forgotten English rose, our numbers too numerous to be divulged. Shut up for the sake of diversity, we're told. We're a generation lied to, told diversity is our strength. Just another night I'll be raped by 50 strange men. Don't ask for help from the authorities, we'll only name you racist, prostitute and whore. While the line gets bigger outside the room where I'm lying naked, unable to move from the dirty mattress on the floor. Just another forgotten English rose, our numbers too numerous to be divulged. Shut up for the sake of diversity, we're told. Snatched away our innocence, too young to understand. I myself, like so many others, were just collateral damage in the globalist grand plan. Just another forgotten English rose, our numbers too numerous to be divulged. Shut up for the sake of diversity, we're told. So hold my hand and make a stand. I want the world to understand. It's not about hate and it's never too late. I look in my daughter's eyes and I see her innocence inside. That's what pushes me farther than I know I could go. This eternal torment she will never know. Just another forgotten English rose, our numbers too numerous to be divulged. No, I won't shut up for the sake of diversity. No, I won't be told.
Way, well done. Well done.
So this is a little bit from Fosia. If we want balance and equality, then we must ban Sharia law. There is no place for it in a civilized society. We must not be cowed by those that scream Islamophobia, which is a word invented by people to prevent us discussing Islam and the separate cultural aspects of it, which are Sharia. We need to stand up against those who wish to spread extremist ideas, which not only oppress women, but which will affect society as a whole. With love from Fozia.
Well said.
Okay, now, bear with me one moment. She says, do you want to take those bits of paper for me, darling? Not that one. I'm going to ask Raheel to come up next, because I'll be honest with you, the two most important ladies here, other than obviously Baroness Cox and Raheel, are two ladies standing over there. And they're the ladies I do this for. And I want to take that to the last. So if it's okay with you, Raheel. Everybody please put your hands together. The biggest cheer you've ever heard in your life.
Good afternoon, friends. I bring you greetings and hugs from your sisters in solidarity across the Atlantic from Canada. They stand with you. Even though they're not here, I speak for them. They stand with you. You know, usually when I go and speak somewhere, and I do a lot, I'm very excited and I'm inspired. Today, I stand here ashamed of my co-religionists and those men from my native land of Pakistan who have shamed not only our faith, but have perpetuated heinous crimes against innocence. These animals, yes, animals, have raped and plundered with impunity. I stand here as a grandmother, as a mother, a sister, and a daughter. And there is no way that I would ever allow or expect my daughters and sisters to suffer in silence the way that they have done. So today we will break that silence. Please say this. Today we will break that silence. Break that silence. And we are. We are here to speak about the atrocities inflicted on our sisters and daughters, our beautiful children who are here today and those who are not. I'm here to speak about the grooming gangs and ask the question about why they were allowed, yes, allowed, to carry out their horrendous acts of violence for so long while we stood silent. We have amongst us here today women who have suffered at the hands of these rape gangs. We have women who have been subjected to shame and horror at the hands of Sharia courts. And we have women who are victims of honor-based violence. But I won't call them victims. I'll call them survivors. My friends, we live in the 21st century, not in the dark ages anymore. And we have a voice. We are fortunate that we live in countries where we have freedom of speech. Yet, our law enforcement and social services look the other way while young girls were being raped and kept as sex slaves. Shame, yes, shame on all of us. Very few people stood up to ask the question, why? Political correctness, white liberal guilt, and the regressive left have had a huge part to play in promoting the silence. And what do they say? They say it's someone else's culture. We can't speak out. But I say to you that culture is no excuse for abuse. Yeah. Culture is never an excuse for abuse. You will see and hear today from victims, and if that doesn't break your heart and spur you to action, then think of the women you love and cherish. Make note that the rise of radicalization in our communities, the misogynist and patriarchal teachings spouted from some pulpits, and the unchecked rise of extremism has caused men from some societies to carry out loathsome crimes with not enough accountability or questioning from within our communities and outside our communities. So in some ways, we all share the blame. We share the blame for not speaking out. We also know that this is not something new, but we allowed this to fester until it became a virus and infected hundreds of perpetrators. And these thugs were strengthened when they saw the fear of being called racist or bigots, which stopped decent people from speaking out. The fear of being called an Islamophobe. My friend, I am a practicing observant Muslim. Let me tell you that speaking for truth and justice will never make you an Islamophobe. Speaking out against human rights violations will never make you an Islamophobe. So don't let them shut you down. Some of the accused have been caught and tried, but others are free to put fear constantly in the hearts of their victims. What do? We have to round them up and jail them for life in a deep, dark dungeon with no parole. Because not only have they raped young girls, they have destroyed generations of young children. Or we should deport them to countries that practice Sharia law and see how long they last there. We have even offered to pay for a one-way ticket. My friends, certain state-run policies have failed us miserably in order to create a social justice system. Multiculturalism has failed us. Political correctness has failed. Sharia law or any law that contradicts human rights has miserably failed. Law enforcement and politicians who look the other way have failed us. Islamism will fail. What has succeeded and what will succeed in Western democracies is the ability for people like you with a conscience to do the right thing, to break the silence and take back the values for which your fathers and grandfathers fought for this country. I want to thank my friend Tony Bugle. I want to thank Baroness Carolyn Cox, a lone voice in the sea of political correctness. I want to thank all of you who speak out, and I am with you. I stand with my daughters, my sisters, and all of you, and if there's anything I can do to help, I'm here for you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yay! Brilliant.
Please make that applause louder and bigger. I think she's an excellent And the one thing I will say is, you know what? There may be only a few here, but by Christ, your voices are loud. And do I love to hear that roar?
It's even louder than the bugle.
I think the next lady, if it's okay, is I'd like to introduce you to Torrin. Now, Torrin is the mother of Becky Watson. I would ask you all please to keep as quiet as you can and try to understand that this could be your daughter, your granddaughter, your sister, your niece, your mother. It could be any one of us stood here right now. And that's why it's so important. Now, I know that Torrin has really struggled to write this, so please have some patience. And if you do find it difficult, Torrin, then I'll finish it with you.
Well done, well done.
Please, biggest round of applause ever, please. All right, well, if we can come up here, stop any feedback.
The media has never reported on who Becky was. Becky was my middle child, born 13th of December 88, weighing at a tiny 5 pounds 4 ounces. She was so angelic looking. She grew to be a fun-loving girl, always woke up with a smile, happily singing and dancing around the house. She lived for every new day. She was very loving and caring, inquisitive, mischievous, and sometimes quite a feisty girl. She loved nothing more than watching episodes of Friends or films with a duvet, chocolate and lots of cuddles. Her laugh was infectious and her whole body would shake in fits of laughter, which was quite often. Her smile was broad and displayed dimples in her cheek. Her sparkling brown eyes with thick long lashes would beam at you, and sometimes it was hard to say no to her. She would light up any room that she entered. I could see so much of myself in her when I was younger. Her favourite time, obviously, was her birthday and Christmas, and she would insist that Christmas decorations went up, as this indicated, the 12 days before Christmas, and she absolutely hated it when they had to come down. She was a popular girl at school and surrounded by many friends who told me that they always enjoyed her company, as she always was so much fun to be around. She never invited one friend around for tea, always many, and I would often say to her, for God's sake, Becky, I can't afford to feed the whole street, but sometimes I manage. She was always eager to go to school, loved learning new things, and she was an animal lover and always claimed that she wanted to work in South Africa with orphan chimpanzees. She was so excited and was in all phase about going to the secondary school, and I knew she wouldn't be bullied as she had older cousins there and she knew most of the children from the estate. But it was a matter of weeks that Becky became more challenging than usual. At first, I thought she was trying to press my buttons. But in such short time, she started shooting and coming home late, and numerous times she went missing. I could not believe how my child could change so much in such a short space of time. She was befriended by a 17-year-old girl who was obviously involved in Pakistani men. I spent many painstaking hours searching for her and trying to find out who she was hanging around with. Many sleepless nights I worry about her. I had a constant pain in my gut. Things just did not add up. I talked to her, I screamed, I cried many tears, and I couldn't get her to open up. I felt I was losing my parental control, and I recognised that I needed help. So I found family services, but to be told by the social services that my daughter was not a priority, as she was fed and not beaten, and this was just another slap in my face. It took them till February 2002 to actually visit us. One incident on February the 21st, she went missing overnight. Returning the next day, this time I noticed that she seemed more subdued. Her friend that went missing with her was missing for 4 nights. Sorry, I've lost the phone. The social services actually visit us 3 times that week and set some rules for Becky to follow. And she actually went to school all week and she never even asked to go out until March the 4th.
You're doing great.
On the evening of 4th of March, Becky pleaded to go out just for 1 hour to an under-16 drop-in centre that was literally just 5 minutes away. And she desperately wanted to see her old school friends. As she kept to her side of the bargain all week, I allowed her on the promise that it was only for an hour and I would be meeting her there at that time to walk her back home. 15 minutes after she left, I had a knock on the door from that 17-year-old friend crying, saying Becky had been in a car accident. My first thoughts that she had been run over and maybe for just a broken leg, but that was not the case. A 20-year-old Pakistani man and his passenger had pulled outside the youth club and he switched his engine off. Becky was first leaning against the bonnet and it looked at first she was in conversation with him. She then sat on the bonnet and there was some sort of altercation. and she refused to get off his bonnet. He took it upon himself to start his engine and to drive over 200 metres with her clinging on the side of the window. And this was in front of all her friends, and at some point she fell off and sustained a head trauma. No other injuries or marks. I arrived at the scene with her 12-year-old brother to watch helplessly as the emergency services tried to resuscitate her lifeless body. 3.5 grueling hours later, I was told that she was brain dead and her life support had to be switched off. And the worst thing I had to go through was tell her 12-year-old brother that she's going to have to say goodbye. I read in the statements that the passenger kept telling the driver to slow down and pack it in. He did this in cold blood anger. It was no prank, only his prank to still firm. Because how dare a 13-year-old white girl not do as she was told and show him up in front of his friends. He got 3 years and served 15 months. The police never asked for a phone and they were fully aware of what happened 10 days prior and all the other times. And yet, the chief superintendent visited me within days of Becky's death and stated he did not want her death to be classed as a racial attack. I told him he needs to open his eyes as there's something going on in this town and it involved Pakistani men and young girls and drugs. I never got to know Becky's full extent of her abuse. That chance was taken away. But the police confirmed in 2015, after a 3-year investigation following Operation Chalice in Telford, that Becky was groomed at 11. And they have evidence on at least 2 occasions that she was trafficked to Birmingham and Manchester. I do not know who her perpetrators are, and most likely never will. But they did say the reinvestigation did highlight new perpetrators. Had Becky not been killed, I know in time she would have opened up because I was never going to give up on her. I live with the guilt and probably always will that I never protected her from these monsters. But she was trying to protect her family. I know if she had lived that she'd be standing here before you today as a survivor. But instead, she is a warrior, like all the survivors, only she's a warrior with wings. Thank you.
Well done. Well done. Imagine how difficult that must have been, guys.
If that is not reason enough for Dave Scott, enough is enough. I do not know what it will take. I really don't. And I'll be honest with you, I'm advertised this event now for over 6 months. There should have been thousands here. Yeah. There should have been thousands here for these women. Because their courage drives me, and their courage should drive everybody in this country. And together, people like myself and Hill and Caroline, we will never stop. Never will we stop. Sit back and allow it to happen. It has to stop. And political correctness is a cancer in this country that allows it to feed. I'm sorry, but I can't hold my anger in. And anybody who knows me knows I tell it as I see it. And I am never ever going to dress it up to sound pretty. Because rape isn't pretty. It doesn't just destroy the girl, it destroys the family. It destroys friends. It destroys literally communities. And how many communities so far? 78. Bear that number in mind. Put that on top of female genital mutilation. Put that on top of Muslim women being abused by Sharia law. And tell me we don't have a problem. We do. And it has to stop. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I know that the next young lady is the most nervous here. And for her to be here today, just to be here, is a phenomenal feat. And I'm very, very proud to call these girls and these women and these survivors and these warriors my friends. So I'd like to introduce you all to Samantha. Please bear with me. Samantha, she is
Go on,
nervous
Samantha.
and she's emotional because she is actually quite touched to see you all here today.
Well done, Samantha.
Hello, my name is Samantha Short. I'm 23 years old and I'm a survivor of child sexual exploitation and grooming. I was raped, drugged, mentally and physically abused by a gang of Pakistani/Bangladeshi males. I was passed around takeaways, shops, houses and put through some of the most unthinkable things. I was pregnant at the age of 12 and a half years old. I was supposed to be looked after by my local authorities. When I was young, I aspired to be a carer, but unfortunately due to the abuse I was subject to, I now have to have a carer myself due to mental health issues. I have tried countless times to try and commit suicide, and some days I can't see a way out. But there are days when I see a brighter future for myself and my family, but mainly not letting them win is what keeps me holding on. I can see me moving on and winning this battle, and with your support I can get through this. I speak out in the hope that it will give courage to others, even if it means prevent it happening just to one person. It would make what I suffered with worth it. I'm truly grateful that you're all here showing your support and giving people like me proof that there is people who care about us. I'd like to say a massive thank you to you. And Baroness Cox. And thank you for Maria for giving me the chance to speak out. Thank you for listening.
Well done, Samantha.
It's very rare that anything can bring me to the point of tears. But I don't cry tears because there's no hope. I cry tears because you give her hope. I cry tears because her pain is our pain, but we can't understand it until we listen. Listening is the only thing that will break the silence. We have to break the silence. So I want you all to, at the top of your voice, please shout as loud as you can. Break the silence! No more! Break the silence!
Break the silence!
That's my devil. Now, lastly, I know she's hiding in there. The very beautiful Dr. Roma Tahir. Now Roma's going to tell you that something we will say and we're told we're racist for, and yet she feels exactly as I feel. And that's why it's so important that we listen to her. I've supported Roma now for about 4 years now, When I first met Roma, you weren't the same person, you were a shell. You were very broken. And together, we've come on a long journey. And we're going to continue that journey. So I'd like to hand the mic to you. And please, tell them exactly what you tell me.
First of all, I am part of Louise, and I'm so grateful for every single person who's actually come here today to show support and solidarity. So, thank you. 4 years ago, I met Tony. As one of the things you probably noticed, I am doctor by title, but unfortunately life was not supportive of me, and there was a point throughout my relationship or marriage with a Pakistani man, I reached a phase being a very intelligent, articulate lady who was not able to cross the road. Can you imagine a 30-year-old plus probably who cannot cross the road? The amount of abuse that I received, it was not. But it was with the help of Tony and Maurice that I said no to this relationship and broke free.
Well done.
after hearing those two accounts of those stories, and all of them because of Pakistani men. Do you know, my heritage is from Pakistan, and I don't know what to say. I feel ashamed that I'm actually carrying those genes.
Nothing to be ashamed of.
It's your fault.
Bev, it's not your shame. It's not your shame.
Look in the eyes of those two women. And this is happening in this country. And where is it? Where is it? We need to be very... Oh yes. Coming back to what Tony's saying is, one thing that I stand up for is my British identity. I'm very proud of my British identity. And all I know, there's no Sharia law in this country. There's only one law for now, which is
British law.
And we have, and what strikes me is Sharia councils operate really in this country to abuse already oppressed women and make them feel even worse about themselves. And I remember when I was getting abused, they didn't actually help, but actually added to my agony. Made me feel that I was the cause of all of this. And I think one thing we all need to work on, that these Sharia councils should not work. They should not be here, absolutely. And if they want to operate, they can go to another country like Middle East.
Ban Sharia.
Absolutely. We need a ban. And please, when we say Sharia, I do mean Sharia in our normal ways. It includes dressing. We have to be, a lot of people think, oh, what Sharia council law? It's what happens in Sharia councils, meaning divorce, marriage. No, Sharia laws include your dressing. So according to Sharia law, you need to be dressed in a certain way. No, we need to be dressed how we like, how we identify ourselves as British. All I can say here is, please support Marius. We need you, all of you, here to support not just women like me, but victims of these grooming gangs. And Tony, honestly, is working very hard with the help of Baroness Cox, with Raheel Raza, who's actually saying, yes, we are Muslims, I'm a Muslim, but we are here to contextualize Islam into making sure that it is adjustable and is relatable to this century, not what happened 14 centuries ago. I really want to say thank you again. Also, my partner over there, Tanvir, who's sitting over there, who always helps, makes me feel comfortable, makes me feel good about myself. And you're wearing pink because pink is about feminism. It's about we, our womanhood. Thank you.
I can see that they are here. Thank you, Roma, and I will continue to support her. I'll never turn my back. Absolutely, absolutely. I've just had a little whisper in my ear, as you all saw. She does this, sneaks up on you and catches you unawares. I quite like it, really. Now, Raheel's husband is here, and he would like to say a few. He's the only Pakistani Muslim man here today. And I think it's only right that we allow him to have his say too.
Yeah.
Because we believe in true equality. You're welcome.
Thank you, and thank you for the introduction. I would rather not be known as Raheel's husband, but my name is Sohail Raza. And yes, I am a Muslim Pakistani man, and before you start throwing things at me, hear me out. Why is it that I did not turn out to be a rapist and a thug? The simple reason is that my parents, although they taught me religion, but they taught me humanity first. And my religious teacher was strictly told by my father, who was a rather overbearing army officer, not to teach me anything about Sharia, because Sharia is the evil that is plaguing our religion and the rest of humanity today.
Yeah.
And the second reason I did not turn out to be a rapist is when I migrated to Canada, I engulfed myself in Canadian values. Because why would I leave Pakistan if I did not find something wrong with it, something wrong with the value system? And the reason you migrate to Western countries is to find the freedom to think, the freedom to speak, and the freedom to practice my faith and any faith that I choose. So these are the things that immigrant communities, that immigrants are losing out on. They are not embracing, those who come to Britain, British values and the freedoms, but they stick on with one leg in Pakistan and one leg in England. Sorry, I was going to say Canada. And that is not a very comfortable position. So we have to teach them, we have to encourage them to come out of their ghettos and embrace freedoms, embrace what is good in Britain, what is that attracted them in the first place to migrate. And the politicians have to teach them that, not you. The politicians have to stop being political correct and chasing the vote bank. That will be the undoing of Britain and Canada as democracies. Thank you very much. I stand
Well said, mate. Well said.
And shame on those that betray my faith and my community.
Well said.
Well, I think that's all of the speakers, apart from me. But my daughter apparently wants to say a last word. Always wants the last word. How do you tell she's my daughter?
I just want to say thank you to everybody for coming today to support Mum and her organisation. I have to be honest, I'm the one at home that watches Mum in pain, in extreme fatigue, spending days on end in bed because she's so tired and in so much pain because of what she does. And she's just constant, it never ends. Her support and her getting the word out and breaking the silence, it never ends. And I'm the one that has to watch her every day in bed in pain and crying and upset, and she supports me as well because, she's not the only one that's gone through it. And the other thing I want to say is people my age, my generation, I'm ashamed because they don't know what's going on. They don't want to know what's going on. And I get shamed for what I believe in and what I support. I get shamed for it. I get told that I'm a racist. I lose friends because of it. But I am, and I think that people need to start listening and opening their minds. They think that the world's beautiful and that everything goes their way, but it doesn't. And there's people out there suffering and they're so ignorant, they just don't want to listen. And I am ashamed of people my age, and I don't want to be a representative of people my age.
Well done.
I want to be a representative of No More Silence and Maria.
Excellent. Excellent.
I just say to her, if you want to speak, and she went, oh, I don't know, Mum, they might do. I said, don't worry, I'm used to it. Now, I actually wrote a speech, but do you know what? There's nothing I can say that will ever say as much as what those ladies stood there today said. And I want everybody now, please, go on and find marias.org.uk. Go on and find me on Facebook. And the next time I do this, I don't want to see 100. I want to see 1,000, 10,000, 30,000, because only then is silence truly broken.
Yep.
So please, we are no longer just women, we are young warriors. Please put your hands together for everybody give the biggest round of applause ever. And thank you, all of you. You are all heroes. So thank you so much for everything and everybody who has turned up today. I love all of them.
What we'll do is we want all the speakers to come up for a photo, but the other thing we want is we want all the women that are here and the child. We want them all to come. We all want a photo because these two ladies here are going to represent that it doesn't matter what you wear what you want to wear that makes you feel comfortable and just show the unity between these two people.
So if anyone's watching this, critical, because Tony's told me in the past of people that don't believe the work she's doing, don't believe that she has abused victims that she's been working with, because she works so stealth-like, she doesn't have to prove it with every hour that passes. Now, if this doesn't answer to it, what does?
And everybody's drawing you to tears. I want to have words with you about damaging my reputation. If we can get you squatted down, because us oldies can't get down on the floor, I'm afraid. And perhaps you at the front, and I'd like you there. We should be arm in arm. And let me tell you now, this is the start of the new dawn of the real suffragettes. The real feminists, the real women. And that includes all you men out there, because you're the true feminists of this country too. Please applaud the men that are here, because I know. Thanks everybody. Now you can all mingle. I'm sure Caroline will allow you to get a few pictures before she finally collapses and gets some sleep. And everybody who's sponsored a bear, who's donated towards a bear, thank you all very much. Everybody who's here today. Thank
brilliant.
You.
Absolutely brilliant. So graceful. Brilliant to watch. Fantastic atmosphere. Great to be here. It's top. Absolutely brilliant. So on point. Tony's right. There should be thousands here. It's not a time for being partisan. We're all fighting on the same side here. People, the fact that they're picking and choosing. I know it's a Monday and it's difficult for a lot of people to get here, and there's a lot of people with health issues why they can't attend full stop, so I understand that. But staying away on partisan grounds, really defeating the object, really. Oh, you're welcome, Bucky. You're welcome. It's a pleasure to be involved with something so positive, I'll be honest with you. And you know, you've got so much diversity here, it's unbelievable. That, how can you not support this?
Could we please get all of the ladies to come and sit along the front here while we stand at the back so that we can get a photograph of the ladies with their rosettes on, and like I said, the true representation of what feminism was always meant to be about.
Can I borrow that? Just for this. Can I borrow that?
Freedom of speech, freedom of choice.
I'm actually being robbed as we speak here now, G. I was being busy. Hello, Janelle. You alright? I'm fine. Got here about 10:30.
I slept over and I still managed to be late.
What's going on there? The mighty Janae has turned up.
Is this live?
This is live.
Got me saying I was hungover.
Yeah, it's already out. Look at this. Look at this.
I see there's some more beautiful ladies. Please hold your teddies in the air to represent every child we will protect.
Excellent.
Thank you. What an amazing picture that is. You're all stars. I love you all. You're amazing. Go on, men. Put your hands together.
Yay! Yay!
Girl power. I'm so... Oh, look, we've got the drama queen down the front there. She's chucking a hissy fit because she wants a game. He identifies as a she, and I know him personally, so I get away with far more than most. Well, do you know what? I'll live with it, and political correctness has never been my friend.
There you go.
If you've all got teddies, please, anybody who doesn't, please take a teddy home with you for your children. We need a teddy for our heel. Do you know what, darling, honestly? I think you've all been so amazing that if you've got kids, I'd like you to get pleasure. Let me all know when you've all finished with your photographs. I don't know, shout something like, shut up, or...
No more silence!
Excellent. I could have just said,
Dare to care for a bear!
Dare to Care for a Bear is a conception of the man Great Brit. So thank you, Great Brit. I know you're moderating at this time, so thank you for that as well, mate. You just illustrate, mate, there's a lot of people in the background that are doing a lot of supportive work that sometimes gets unrecognised, so got to pull that forward. Well done, pal. You're a frigging star.
Everyone around, everybody give yourselves a round of applause, thank you.
Yay!
Oh, and one big thank you to Belgium, who has partnered with me for nearly a week or two now, and I drove him mad, but he's been an absolute star, and he's helped me so much, and so thank you, Belgium. And can I just say, look at the diversity, and they say racism?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
All right with our teddy bears.
She's your mother's daughter.
Far righteous.
Okay, ladies, are we all done? Everybody finished with the pictures? Thank you so much, everybody.
Look at this, guys. How many of the marches has such a peaceful vibe, which is predominantly women? There's such a lovely spirit about the whole event. How many marches can you mention? And can I just say, I'm going to pull away a little bit here, right? There's one thing that I've noticed that I don't think anyone's really picked up on, is the lack of police. Yeah? You've got police over there, you've got this here, you've got these vans here. But other than that, there doesn't seem to be kind of a presence, kind of watching, you know, overviewing. Now, I don't know what you make from that, but that is a positive sign in itself. You know what marches are like. Normally they have a contingent that are there, just breathing down your neck and probably filming you at the same time. Like I say, there's empty vans there, but I don't even know where they are. So, you know, we're just left to our own devices. So that says it all. Now, either they're not interested and they think it's not going to go anywhere, or there is nothing to fear. I don't know which one it is. Might be both. Who knows? But normally that's indicative of any march. You normally get the PC plods walking right beside you with their own YouTube channel, kind of filming everything you're doing from the front and the back. But they're not here. You know, so it's great, absolutely great, fantastic. What a buzz. Thank you for that last comment. I didn't see you actually written it. But yeah, no, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Because the one thing I'm finding is it's brilliant to be around. You're all right. How you doing? You're all right. Have you found it? I know, yeah, I know. The mighty John had normally been by your side. He rung me. I was just about to start the stream. Diane's making her way down. I'm like, mate, I'm just about to start the stream. Oh, I'm sorry, mate. I'm just letting you know. So I don't know. Just tell her we're right outside the Downing Street gate. Yeah.
Right, we've actually made it through. I've just been an idiot.
You're right.
How you doing, mate?
I'm fine, thank you. Good to see you again.
Yeah, and you, my friend.
Oh, good. What did you think?
Oh, a bit emotional, wasn't it?
It was.
That's
It was.
Oh my God. I'll
Yes.
just give her a cuddle.
Yeah.
Do you know what? When you read it in a paper, when you actually hear it,
True.
you know,
It's real life, and you've seen the whites of the eyes, and
yeah.
you've seen the visual effects it's having.
Yeah.
Not only reading it, but having
Yeah.
to live through that.
I know.
They're not just words.
I know.
You know, it means something.
And this is what, once this goes viral,
Yep.
I think once people start sharing this today,
Yep.
I think people are going to start waking up.
Start breaking down
Yeah.
them boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, Raheel Raza, You've got, look, like she said, like Tony said, look how mixed we are here. There's no way in the world you can keep labelling us Nazi and right wing and everything.
It's ridiculous.
You know,
So disingenuous.
Of course it is.
I mean, there's no police presence here or anything.
Where's the BBC? Where's the Channel 4?
Yeah.
Where's the mainstream media?
Yeah.
This is like Rubin gangs, Sharia.
They're playing their part in curtailing.
Of course it is.
You know, it's a shame that they've got to do that. But hey, you know what? As long as we've got cameras and as long as we've got our own platform, we can.
The thing is, Phil, it's getting to a point like we're in dangerous times. Look, my mother left Spain because of fascist Franco in 1960. My father fought against communism and Nazism during World War II, being a Pole. So I've got it from both sides, and I know. My parents told me what it was like. You know, what it was like living under a dictatorship. This is the start of it.
Yes, you can see it.
Yes,
you
it's
can.
the start of it.
How do you convince people that haven't even got a clue? That's where we're at.
Well, do you know what I've started doing?
Do you mind being filmed, or would you rather not? You know, I'll just.
What it is, I'm now saying to my lefty friends, you are an enabler. Just call them an enabler to misogyny, homophobia, anti-Semitism, homophobia, everything. Just tell them that they're an enabler. Paedophilia.
Never mind calling me.
Yeah. And they don't know what to say now. This is what it is. And it's like with the Jeremy Corbyn thing as well. Jeremy Corbyn, 20, 30 years ago, didn't have spin doctors and PRs, so he was a lipspickle or whatever they call it. You know, he is a fanboy for terrorism, and it's all coming up now. It's not fake. This is what this man's all about. This is what you've got to keep telling us. You know? And hopefully one day you will repeal something. But my lefty friends, a lot of my lefty friends are all for open borders and that, right? Now I live in Wallington, right, which is in South London, and Mitcham Cricket Green is the oldest cricket green in the whole of Britain.
Okay.
Right? They want to develop on it, right? So my lefty friends are going up in arms about it. So hold on a minute, you want open borders? We've got 2.4 million at the last count waiting for social housing. We need to build houses. So why are you complaining about it? They don't know what to say to you.
Can't have it both ways.
Exactly. You can't keep milking the cow without feeding it.
Yeah. No, it's true. Very well said.
Yeah, and this is what I do now.
But that's where it comes into the enabling thing. You're actually enabling it. You think you're protesting against it, but you're actually bringing it on even more.
And let's keep doing this now, Phil. Just there's a guy called Blair Cottrell from Australia. Have you heard?
I haven't, no.
Right, Blair Cottrell. He's the first ever Australian to be convicted of a thought crime.
Oh my word!
Seriously,
Minority Report.
Yeah, he's Blair Cottrell. He's got Facebook, and he says now he just uses the enabler. Just keep saying you're an enabler, and that shuts them down. Because you know, there's only so much you can call somebody a racist and Nazi. I'm half Spanish, half Polish. I'm gay, and my dad was Jewish. So for God's sake, you know what I mean.
Just throw a bit of black skin on you, and then you've got them all there ticked.
But do you know what I mean?
I know, it's how stupid it is. I know. And it don't matter, even if you was to come out with that position, they'd still find a way of trying to get it. Yeah,
because I voted Brexit. My mother voted Brexit. She's a British citizen now.
Right.
Because these were the foreigners that came here and they had to work. They couldn't access anything. You know, they couldn't just walk into a country. Yeah, like your ancestors. You had to work. You know, we were invited. My mum
and once you do that, you do feel the fruits of doing it, and it breeds positivity anyway. Because you know, so that's why you tend to have a budget and you stick to it, because why? When you work, you get wages. You know, you ain't going to get paid till the following week, so that money does have to last. So you tend to be a bit smarter with your financial situation.
When people say about poverty, I'm not being funny, but you're around my age, right? If you were poor in the 70s,
you look better than me, though. I must say that.
But you were poor, mate. You know what I mean? My mum worked 4 jobs. We didn't get free school meals. My dad was disabled.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We didn't get all this.
Yeah.
And you only got child benefit for the second child. You didn't get it for the first. Exactly. So, you know, the 70s were our time.
I'll never forget the day I moved. I literally left school at 16. The benefits stopped. You know, my mum turned around to me, not go to university and get a bigger life, go and get a job, because I'm now missing this money. You've got to put that money back in. So then it had to be, I'll give you so much each week, keep. And it was literally once a day stopped. The following day, I had to literally step up to the plate. And that is just realistic. You know, I mean, this generation don't have to live like that now, but that almost breeds a bit of decadence because they don't know what that feels like.
Exactly. And I had parents where my dad was in a concentration camp.
Right.
You know, you starved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You had to work, and if you didn't do that day's work in that concentration camp, you didn't get your mucky bit of bread with your mucky bit of soup. You know, my mum, she lived in fascist Franco era, where the police used to come round in the military and try and steal your potatoes and that. They used to hide them underneath the floorboards. My mum was 3 and 4. You know what I mean? Remembering saying that, oh, we haven't got potatoes for our soup. Telling this to the military. You know, so that's instilled.
So to live with that.
Yeah, and that's
instilled.
That's instilled in me. So we don't throw food away. You know, you don't turn the tap on and leave it running.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're right about the decadence. We do.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It's consumerism.
I mean, Tony's daughter was saying a little bit about the same thing, really, about how she's ashamed about her generation. I mean, it's not just her generation. We've got people our age that literally feel the same way.
But the thing is, Phil, what you've got to remember is we are the parents. It's our kids.
Yes.
We've allowed this to happen.
Yes.
And that's the difference.
Yeah, because in the beginning, political correctness seemed a good idea.
Oh, it was brilliant, because I'm not being funny, you know as a black man, I know as a foreigner.
Am I black?
Well,
right, okay.
There was terrible racism.
Sure.
I can remember at 7 and 8 English saying to my parents, "Fuck off back to your own country."
Yeah.
You know, I know this. I know this through my black friends as well. You know, they had English names, I had the foreign name, but we're all foreigners clubbed into one.
Yeah.
You know, but we all stayed as friends to this day, and we ain't got chips on our shoulders. You haven't got a chip on your shoulder.
No.
You know?
Yeah, so it can be done.
Yes, of course it can.
You know, we've just got to stop letting the cultural Marxism and the way of dividing people get into the brain.
They've done it. They've destroyed the church because Christianity is now it's irrelevant. The family unit, look, transgenderism and all that. I'm gay, but all this is
gone way too far.
Stop elevating minorities into special boxes. All we ever wanted was equality. That's all we've ever wanted.
Yeah. Now they've gone the other way now.
Yeah, because they're grasping at straws now because they've got nothing else to fight for.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is what it is. This is that the left eats itself, like the right eats
Well,
itself.
yeah. They've got this way of social engineering and wanting to change society. It's not being done naturally and organically. You know, it's kind of being force-fed on people, and that's what's so disingenuous about it.
It's not just that though, Phil. It's the Qatari and the Saudi money.
Corruption.
You know, that's what. You know, if you look at it, it was like, you know, the 90s. It was the Russian oligarchs that propped up London. You know, Boris Yeltsin gave them all the oil and petrol fields and whatever gas fields. They come over here and they propped it up. David Cameron didn't put sanctions on Russia, did he? When in his power, whereas other European countries did. Because they're not stupid. Think of these people. You know?
Yeah, I was going to say something else, but it's a stream, so I'm going to keep it nice and civil. But all I'm going to say is that they're doing a certain thing to each other, but they're not using lube. Let's put it that way. And they're self-serving each other. That's all they're doing. And they're selling us all out on the back of it.
I've just come back from Galicia, right? That's where my mum's from, right? And there was a march for the pensions because their pension pot is being depleted. You've got old people taking churros off tables because they haven't got enough food, because they haven't got enough pension. But yet they're allowing now all these boat people coming in that get everything.
Where's the justice in that?
And now the Spanish people, because I've always said that Spain's always been ideologically 10 years behind us, you know, because they're very insular people, the Spaniards. You know?
No, keep it.
Sure?
Yeah, that's fine. No, you're more deserving than me, Jeannie, let's face it.
I tell you something, you start peeing off the Spaniards. Spaniards this year. It's my cousins, especially how bloody racist they are against us because we're leaving the EU. They're jealous because we are going.
Well, they tried it themselves with the Catalan thing, didn't they? You know, but mainland Spain's trying to pull them back in.
Well, it's not that, it's to do with their constitutions. It was an illegal vote. But Puigdemont shouldn't have run away. He should have stood his ground. He's still in Brussels. They're trying to extradite him from Brussels.
Can't have people standing up. Look what happens. It's got to be a worldwide stand-up. That's the only way you're going to beat this.
There's a guy called Steve Tully on YouTube. Dr. Steve Tully. He's an American man. He's a really clever man. Yesterday I watched a vid, right, and he was saying about, you know, the EEFD party that's in the in the European Parliament, you know, we take up quite a lot of that block, like Nigel Farage and stuff. Well, when we leave, because there's going to be lots of Eurosceptic parties, it's going to grow. So next year, 2019, the Eurosceptic party is going to be a bigger entity than what they were when we were in. And Sweden's got their election next month. Swedish Democrats are at 25%. They're anti-EU, anti-immigration. They want to send back all the immigrants that have not been working.
Hardly surprising.
Yeah, because they've just had to put their pension age up to 67 because their pot's being depleted.
Yeah, so they've got to keep the money coming in, haven't they? It's been fantastic talking to you.
Look after yourself.
You too.
How's John? I sent him a link.
Right.
He's anti-gang thing.
Yeah. All malicious stuff. I know, yeah. They don't know him at all, but yet they've got a handle on the reason why he was there, what he was all about, and just totally defaming him.
I actually sent him a message via, Messenger, and I said, I think you should look at this, and then he said, I've seen it.
Yeah, we've had a chat about it. It's unfortunate that people do that.
And they brought you into it.
Yeah. Coconut caller. That's all he seems to do, call everyone a coconut. But this man never shows himself, and he's got so many bad things to say about the way I'm doing it, the way John and Eddie is doing it.
Well, you're doing all right.
Well, you know, I'm trying to do the right thing.
No, you are.
Thank you very much.
Believe you me. I followed you from the day that woman called you a Nazi, and you said, don't put this on my toes. It was the first time I ever saw you, and then when you started your YouTube, and I share your stuff, you know, I share your stuff on Facebook, but I've got to be careful because I want my reasonable content prestigious private school, so things like this I'm and it's sad.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Where's the nearest down there?
Is it just after the square?
Yeah, there's quite a few. There's one, there's another one, and I think there's another one on the left hand side. So we should be able to go right the nearest. Yeah, shall we go? Yeah,
I'm up for that. Yeah, that sounds good. Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, and you.
I will pass that note on.
Oh, brilliant, thank you. I wish them all the best.
I will do.
Yeah, I'll carry on watching your videos.
Okie dokie, no problem. Thank you very much for your support. Right.
Yeah.
Of course you can, pal, yeah. You're welcome.
All your great work.
Thank you, mate. Thanks for your support. Cheers, pal. Right. How are we doing, guys? So, what did we think of that?
That was brilliant. Do you know what? The mother had the lump in the throat and the tear, but the girl, honestly, my heart broke for her. Yeah, and it's like so brave just to stand there and tell them.
I'll be back. Yeah.
It's like we need more of that because that's the reality of what's going on. And until you hear it from the people that have been affected by it, people just want to ignore it. And we've got to get everybody to a point where they can't ignore it anymore. You know, we've got to be in the face. We've just got to throw it out there.
It's one thing compare saying about 78 towns and cities and going into individual agreements or whatever. But when you see the whites of the eyes of an actual victim and what it's cost them.
They're on the front line and you don't usually hear it. Like you were saying, you read it and it's there, but that's when you get a real involvement. They're the ones who've lived it and they're standing up. There's no nothing. It cuts through every barrier. It's like, this is what happened to me. It's simple. Listen, everyone should be down there. It's not about anything but them and victims. And it's what's right and what's wrong. It's simple.
Yeah, you've only got to look at them and think the emotional price that these guys have paid for that. You know, that speaks volumes to me. So how anyone can put a thumbs down or talking that in a negative way, no matter what race or nationality you are, because a victim is a freaking victim. Let's face it, you know.
The whole country should be here.
Exactly.
You know, it's disgusting.
It's a shame that it ain't.
Yeah.
Me and the girls from the Justice Centre, we went to the football
Like a t-shirt.
ground. We went to the football ground before the last march we did in Sunderland to hand out the leaflets and everything else. And people, some of the comments were, you know, you shouldn't be wearing that in front of the children and all the rest of it. But actually, do you not understand how many children know what the word means? But not just because you've spoken about it. It's because they've experienced it. They know too well what the
And also they've got to learn about it. Double
they've got to live the rest of their lives with that and the way they've been treated. So it's like, I don't care if I'm in your face.
If it said no more racism, we wouldn't say, look, you shouldn't do that because you're scaring kids into thinking that they're going to grow up with racism.
Exactly.
No, rape is a word.
Those people that are raping and abusing children, you're on the radar. There's no escape. I don't care if you're in Parliament or on the street. You know, we find out about it.
Yeah.
It's
As far as I'm concerned, rape is being used as a weapon of mass distraction. Yeah. It literally is, because it is destroying the very fabric of the next generation.
Whole community. It's the after effects, isn't it? It's that ripple of, how they feel about themselves, therefore that destroys them, and then that destroys their family and positive, outcomes.
And if it's shocking, it should be shocking.
Do you know what though? We're the new social workers, and we're paying. We're out there doing that work. We're out there making sure these girls are alright. We're trying to bring their attention to it. And we're doing the social work now. And these are the people on the street, and these are the people who call far right. They're doing the social work and caring about these
How many people, how many organisations do you know of that actually look back and help people like this?
Name one in the social services. We don't even know the names of these victims. I mean, you say the name Charlene Downs to people and they just glaze over. They've never even heard of it. And I just think there should have been a campaign like there was for Stephen Lawrence. There should have been a campaign to get that out there, because it's the most heinous, most despicable crime that there is. To kill a kid, then chop her up, put her in a kebab and feed her to the parents. I mean, you couldn't make that up. It's so diabolical. I think that people
the
can't
way
get
the
away with
media
it.
have selective outrage, I think that's the most
That's why I can't
disheartening
understand
thing.
all of this anti-Trump hysteria. It's like, where's it come from? And then if you ask people, why are you upset about Trump? Well, he's a racist and a sexist and a xenophobe. And I'm like, what? Because he said they let them grab your pussy. I think you're missing the point. The word is let. He's more or less saying, some people are so what? They let you grab their pussy? He says that 12, 14 years ago. We know that Clinton was a rapist. Nobody did anything about that.
No one's
he was
saying
kicked
nothing.
out of Oxford, wasn't he?
Did you see the look on Bill Clinton's face on the last, when they had the debates between Hillary and
That's
Trump?
right. And
he was sat in the crowd.
Yeah.
Did you see his face
I
when
did.
Donald Trump was going on about
he
all
said
the
about-
sexual stuff and how he
That's
should
right.
be in jail?
Yeah.
He looked like he wanted to rub his shoes together and go, get me the fuck out of here.
Absolutely,
And it was so shocking to see that, but yet nothing followed up from that.
No, because the press aren't interested.
That is the point, but yet you can call Trump a racist and whatever else. It don't make any sense.
Well, the mad thing is, I went on that because with John Lawrence and Mary, you were there, innit? We went on that pro-Trump thing, and
Right.
I saw it from both sides. Because first of all, I got there and I'm asking people, well, why are you here? You're here against a democratically elected president. Saying on about they let it's sexist, and they've got girls there, and they've got like, don't trump on my pussy, and I'm like, it's little kids, you're sexualising girls. Well, I just that makes sense to me.
It's what the man before.
I mean,
It was disgusting.
I saw someone go around playing a great big decapitated head of Trump with blood coming down it, like red silk. Like, isn't that what they used to do? In the
We're far right, you see. We're causing interference with the system. Well, that's what
because
happens.
we're far righteous.
We're just right. We're just right. We're not far right. We're just right.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's all this magnetic positive vibes. It's
all the tinfoil hats.
is that what it is? Causing interference. I'm definitely going up to.
Are you going up to Middlesbrough on the 8th?
I'll be
8th of September,
the 8th.
Middlesbrough,
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
Like to see you there.
So, do you want to talk a little about that? What's going on in the 8th in Middlesbrough, Sharon?
Well, it's the Great North Run in Newcastle on that date, so we decided we would take it to Middlesbrough,
Yeah.
Justice for the Women and Children, and we're going to raise awareness on the grilling gangs and the rapes and the child abuse, child sexual exploitation. I'm going to go around a few of the centres that help the victims and survivors of sexual violence, and hopefully bring them out, and hopefully some of them will want to tell their stories, or at least get behind us and help raise the awareness, get the facts out there. It's been going on for 30 years, covered up, and you know, it's just on my doorstep. And it's just if we can get the justice for women and children right up and down the North East Coast, raising awareness, bringing it out into the open. You know, not worrying about political correctness, not worrying about who we might upset the powers that be, or the council, or the police. We'll take everybody to task. If they're not doing what they can do to protect these women and children, then we're on their doorstep, and hopefully, you know, we'll pick up and we'll grow in numbers and we'll get the support that we need. Just to make sure they cannot ignore it any longer. You know, brave people like Samantha here that you know, absolutely had me in tears.
Where are you going?
Come here.
Hey, crafty one, come over here, Samantha. Oh, you were so brave. You were really so brave. I'm not going to film you. But I'm just going to say what you done there, because we spoke and you were adamant you wanted to do it on the train on the way down, and I'm saying, listen, don't put yourself under pressure. You know Tony will read it for you. And I know you was upset at the side there just before, but you got on there and you nailed it. Well done to you. Well done.
all the way through it. I can't wait to watch.
I cried all the way through it, yeah.
Oh, look, I just had a comment. What a woman Samantha is. It's just kind of.
Thank you, whoever you are.
Yeah, so you've got a lot of support. You've got a lot. How can you not?
We thought you were brilliant.
Indeed.
Really good.
Indeed.
Well done. You're an inspiration. Absolute inspiration.
Just think of the good that you're doing just being here. Really? Okay.
Just don't get like close.
There you go. There's a mighty Samantha, brave young lady. And this is the thing, this is what today's all about. There's so many positive, strong young women and women, you know.
Because you have earned it.
Got nowhere to fit it now.
And so that's the guy that asked me what was going on today as I was stood over there.
Right.
And they said they noticed that the colours were the colours of the suffragettes.
Oh,
so they were asking about what was it. So I got a good opportunity to explain what it was about.
Sure.
You could see a lot of the women, as people were talking, they were stopping and it was the husbands that kind of walking along with the women. Because it's a group of women.
Yes.
It's more like
they're connected.
You know, they stop and they listen, and you know, the speakers here today are fabulous.
Yeah.
You know, they really added a powerful story to tell. So yeah, it's fabulous. And we just need more women out on the street protecting the children and raising the awareness. That's all.
Yeah. It's happening more and more.
People like you to get through what you're getting through. Fantastic.
It's been a big day for Samantha. You know. Yeah. Well done. Well done, Samantha. You're a star. Oh, so yeah, I'm absolutely over the moon with the way the day's gone. The numbers are small, but it's something to build on. If the small numbers are all positive, then that is still a positive to me. It's not negative.
Like you feel. The numbers aren't small because the message goes out, and people understand
Yeah.
that. So you know by how many hits you get that people do take notice.
Yes.
And even with a small crowd on the street, yeah, it would be nice to see us bigger, but we represent the majority
Yes.
who
Yes.
maybe sit on the fence, don't want to look at it because
Yeah.
it isn't a pretty sight.
Yeah.
But we'll just ram it down their throats.
Got to do it.
We just ram it down their
Sharon
throats.
Binks, you're right revolutionary, aren't
You
you?
know what? They try to keep kicking me down and I keep getting back up, but you know, every time I
Come
go
back.
up stronger, so bring it on.
Bring it on, indeed.
The establishment, I don't know what they're playing with.
I love your strength and optimism, and that's what we need.
Oh, do you know what?
You know, and it's brilliant because today is showcasing people like yourself, people like Tony, who, you know
My
what I
daughter
mean?
says, why do you get involved? Well, why would you want to live your life just constantly thinking about that? But she doesn't understand that I feel so positive about it because when you're doing what you can do, and you know, whether it's sitting behind a keyboard and having your view or getting involved in the discussion bit, just, you know, getting behind the people that are doing it, I understand. Nobody wants to end up in my position, lose the job and on rock bottom and having to rely on handouts. But, you know, for me, I couldn't change that because here and in here, it's all that matters. My grandchildren are all that matters. The future for them are all that matters. And every girl and every woman that's been a victim is all that matters. So yeah, we need to change society. We need to get the Labour, the Conservatives, the Lib Dems out, and we need to start focusing on the parties that are going to get us what we deserve as a nation to get back to the values that we had. And to not have these people's lives at risk every day on the street, all the stabbings, all the shootings. you know, it's the world's going crazy, and it must. Anybody who watches mainstream television, which I don't, by the way, you know, they're hypnotised by what they want you to believe. They don't want to look outside and see the reality.
Yeah.
It's like it's not on my doorstep. So
They
I'm not worried about
create
it.
the perception.
How long
Deception.
away is it from your doorstep? Really? You know, how far is it? It's 8 miles away from me. You know, people have to live right within it. So I just think if you're sitting cozy in your house and thinking everything's just going to be fine and the government will take care of it, well, look at the last 30 years. What have they taken care of? Themselves.
And you know what? I do feel that a lot of people deep down, even though they might be against people speaking out, they do know that the country's declining. Maybe they don't know how to respond to it. They might think, well, the way you're doing it is not right. You know, we're only trying to do what we can. But they still know it at the same time. They can't honestly think we live in some kind of utopian society.
A lot of people are scared to come out and speak. A lot of people are scared to come on because they're scared about losing their jobs.
Yeah.
Literally scared of losing their jobs.
And you get,
so they get, you know, if they're seeing something on March, the cast is like, this is bad.
Yeah. It's a climate that's been created.
To support rape survivors and they want to lose their jobs.
But then the press.
So many of my friends will say me, at Facebook,
Right.
say, yeah, I'm totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Right.
And we have to stand up for the silent majority, don't we? We have to stand up for them and assume that they think the same as we do, because why wouldn't you? You know, we've been fortunate, and like with the women's marches, you don't get the anti-protesters. You know, you don't get those, because what does that make you if you're going to come out and protest a march with women and children against rape and child abuse?
Yeah.
I mean, what sort of person would you need
I
to be?
was talking with a lady there. She says, don't try and combat them on the ideas now. Just call them an enabler,
Yeah.
which in fact they are by counter
Well, to me,
protesting.
anybody that tries to discredit us for what we're doing in that sense is either a paedophile or a paedophile appeaser.
Exactly.
And you can call yourself left wing or whatever you want to call yourself, but to me, that's what you are. So call me racist, call me right wing, call me what you want. But I would rather be right wing than a paedophile. I would rather be standing out here, shut my mouth off about the truth, than sitting behind a door pretending it's not going on. So, you know, I think the majority are.
Unites and trying to do a counter protest. You know, started singing this under the bells.
Really? So you're getting counter on it now?
Every opportunity. I mean, I share. I mean, I've been on the page and I share stuff about any paedophile, any grooming guy, any pervert, any you know, satanic abusive group or whatever. I share anything to do with that. But as soon as you put something on, oh, you're racist. Well, wait a minute. Have a look through the posts and see how many white men are on there. Have a look at the feedback, the footage from our marches, and see how many stories are about white perpetrators. You know, your argument's going to fall down in a second. So try your worst. You know what I mean? They'll say, "Oh, I thought it wasn't about politics and racism." Well, clearly it is. Well, no, it's about paedophiles and rapists. Clearly that's the issue. So why are you trying to take it down that route? What have you got to hide? You know, why are you trying to discredit something when how can you like, I've not even got the words. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's like you can't defend the indefensible. If somebody's raping and abusing, how can you defend that? By saying the person that's giving you the message is a racist. Oh wow, you know what I mean? Bring it on. It doesn't bother me. I'm clearly not a racist. I know that. I only need to know that for myself, you know. I don't care what race or religion the girls are. If they need protection, you know,
it's like how many times you have to say it. It gets boring kind of repeating it, you know.
I just get to I don't want to argue and say, look, you don't know what you're talking about. You obviously don't. You haven't researched what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to dismiss it. I've got more important things to do.
Try and tie you with someone else's brush. It's totally disingenuous and it's the wrong thing to do. You've got to treat people on an individual basis.
Well, they were saying about the first march. I went to the first march, the open Mullion thing, it would be all right, and straight away it's racism. You had the same march as me? Yeah, because I was there right at the front listening to everything that was said.
Yeah.
And the first story that was read out was about a supremacist who raped this girl. Were you there? Were you listening? I was there.
The beauty of that,
with all this rubbish.
They don't want to listen, do they?
the beauty of that first march was that lady came up to me at the end and she said she was from the anti-fascists, and she said I came along thinking it was going to be racist and everything else, and she said it absolutely wasn't. So I had a good chat with her afterwards, and we agreed on a lot of points. And it's just unfortunate that you didn't catch most of that conversation.
She didn't want it filming. Remember, I was stood next to her. She's like, "You're not filming, are you?" I said, "No, no, no." I was just kind of being on the conversation.
There was some fantastic stuff in there, and she was agreeing with me on a lot of things. And she worked with asylum seekers, and I mentioned about Muslims, and she said, "No, no, no. There's as many Christians who are abusive to women because of their environment they've been brought up in." And I said, "That's my point. It's not about the religion. It's about the behaviour towards people. And if they're conditioned in that way, in their society, in their culture, you know, in their head, that's how you treat women, especially white ones. You know, how do you change that? You have to stop it. You have to not make excuses for it and stop it. So, you know, that's all we can do is just...
Well, right is right, because that won't be accepted no matter who's done it.
I know.
And that's the point of the matter, you know. What we're talking about today, doesn't matter what colour skin or what nationality. I hate that, and I want it kind of driven out of town as quickly as possible.
And people forget the Sikh and the Muslim girls were the first victims 30
Yes.
years ago. You know, I mean, there was white victims back in the 30s.
And still going with the Sikhs. The local ones to me are making they're speaking in temples, they're training girls, they're doing videos, they're talking to
Sure.
So what they're doing with the Sikhs is pretending that they're Muslim. Boys are wearing a kanda.
Right. Yeah.
Pretending and then go into the family and say, like, the family's not speaking now because you've been consulted when you're sharing your family. And that's how they're getting portrayed.
Yeah. I mean, Raheel Raza spoke a lot about that, the indoctrination within kind of Islam and what people agree to, particularly when it comes to Sharia law as well. Particularly how draconian it is and how everyone kind of falls into place. I've got to admit, the lady is amazing. The way she's come here and just don't mind speaking on the negative aspects within her own kind of faith. So how anyone can criticise that, but at least she's doing what everyone else is doing and go, you know what, it doesn't matter what colour of skin I am, doesn't matter what faith I am, this is kind of wrong.
It's humanitarian, isn't it, more than...
Yeah. Yeah.
I've spoken plenty, especially the younger generation that you know, been brought up in this country, and they'll say their grandfather came over here and they've got a shop, but they've been brought up to decide for themselves, and I'm like, isn't that the beauty of it though? Isn't that the beauty of being a Western civilization? You get a lot of information and you choose what you want to believe and what you decide, as long as it doesn't go against everybody else in a negative way, you know. But I think they're the ones that suffer as much as anybody else, because you've got this element of radical Islam coming in. They then have to look at how they've got to change their whole life now, because they've got used to the Western culture. But oh, wait a minute, now you've got to follow this. Now you've got to be a true Muslim and do what we say. Well, what does that do to them? They want to just be peaceful and carry on their lives as they have, and they've lived in that community and they've embraced that community. They're the victims as well. And it's just like, but then you see news reports of one type of the Shiites, they're killing each other, and you think, where does it end? If you want to murder us because we're non-Muslim, why are they killing each other? I don't get it, you know. And it is just about as much destroying the mind as anything else.
Without doubt. Without doubt.
The slavery that you know, it destroys your life. You then become a slave because you lose your power to be who you truly should be, because they've destroyed you. You know, and the younger they get you, the worse it becomes. So.
Yeah. No, I totally understand.
It's a sad state of affairs, but
I think it's the best one.
it's not over.
It's not. It's not.
It's not over till we win.
Well, you know,
Win,
by hook or by
to
freaking crook. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and it's people like yourself that people will gravitate towards and literally resonate, you know. So you're doing a brilliant job, Sharon. All I can recommend is that you keep on doing it, you know.
Yeah, I intend to.
Yeah.
I intend to. My grandchildren are important to me.
Exactly. And that's the motivation behind it, isn't it? Thank you, Simone.
Absolutely.
Right, so I'm going to keep having little walks about again.
Nice to see you again, Phil. I'll see you on
yes,
the 8th.
On the 8th, definitely, I'll be there. Oh, you deserve it. Right, guys, I'm going to kind of wrap this stream up now. I'm going to conduct a few interviews, but I'm going to do it hard recording. So it's just not at the back end of the stream where people may not get to see it. So I hope you've enjoyed this event, watching it. You can see how positive it is, what all the ideals are about that are within this march. Nothing but positivity, so it's absolutely fantastic. Been a pleasure to have been a part of it. And thank you very much, guys. I love you all, even the pissing haters. And thanks a lot, Great Brit. You're a freaking star, mate. Cheers, pal.